feel like we had 80 turnovers.
Yeah, we had 16. I felt like we had
We had
more than
16.
20.
That's like way too much.
Yeah, but compared to what I thought we had, we still won.
James?
Awesome.
All right. James, start with the end. Did you draw anything up? Do you want the three there, or you just play within the flow?
Yeah, we had a set we kind of been going to this week. It's a tricky subject right now with these two.
Very sensitive. Very
I
sensitive.
told them on the way over here, I was like, hey, can I tell you guys something before we go in there? I was like,
There's no way I had a left rebound.
that wasn't very smart. But no, they executed great on the second time around. But the first time around, we were watching him in the post, and we were waiting for another person. I won't say who. But it ended up working out, man. This is why I'm texting Eric when he's in Las Vegas to ask if he'll play TBT, because you know that he's the type of guy he can score 8 straight in Elam. And looked at him, he said his ankle was good, and we said, let's go back to it. They executed it, and now we're here. TBT.
James, coming out of the first time out, was there confusion on the score
Yes.
at all?
Yeah, definitely. We wouldn't. It changes the theory a little bit. Like, do you call a timeout if it's 62-62? I'm not huge on like after timeout offense, so I might not have done it, but I didn't even know about the discrepancy. And then they came and told us it was tied, but I mean, what it didn't. It's kind of whatever.
Would that set have been any different? Because you guys went to KJ's and Paint needing a 3 to win.
Oh, you're talking after the second time.
After the second time, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, it was 63-62, and then they changed it to 62-62 at the first timeout.
Right.
And the start of the Elam. But we had something we were trying to do there, but they kind of dug down on the post and got a hand on it. But we had something we were trying to go to there too.
So Eric, walk me through the shot to win it. Did you know it was going? Were you looking for it right away?
Always looking for it. Not in a selfish way, but just in a confident way, it's always great to have guys who can make outside shots. So, if you're one of those guys, you got to be ready to go and shoot with confidence. When I released it, I said Lou has a chance to be a little long, and end up, going back of rim. And, I like to when I'm working out, I like to have back of rim misses. At least I give it a chance. And so that was a back of rim make.
James, do you think about spreading the floor more there, or maybe putting another 3-point shooter in to maybe create some more space, or is that the personnel, the 5 that you want held for that kind of run?
No, I said this year, man, I'm a coach. Like years prior, I tried to do sub patterns and stuff like that. We were just going off field. To be honest, probably would have played Keedy in the Elam if he hadn't played such a long spurt before that. Like he was in mid of the third quarter, played all the way through. We were like, do we want to go with Keedy? He's been incredible. I think Keedy was probably he had the best game to me today. Out of everybody, changed everything in the second half. And it's going to change too. Like they were guard oriented, and we could play 4 guards. When Quincy comes back for that, it could look different. We could go big and have length and switch. So it was just a feel thing. I feel like at all times we have a bunch of basketball players out there. So we got the tough part out. We won a tough one. So.
Eric, after you made the shot, you pointed up in the crowd at Coach Huggins. What did that mean to you?
Man, people can say what they want, but that's my guy. You know what I mean? I love him to death. He changed my life. It was great to see him up there. That's my dude, period.
KJ, the runs that were in this game, and you guys in the third quarter, they were kind of built up a little bit of an advantage. Is there a feeling at that point that, hey, it's time to put this to bed, and then you're surprised that they were able to come back like they did?
I wasn't surprised. I mean, in this kind of tournament, you see guys hang around. There's a lot of talent on each team. So I told them before the game started, it's going to be a game of runs. Can't get too up, can't get too down. And I think we responded every time. We had a couple plays that I'd like to take back, especially me personally, just a couple turnovers. We got to cut down on those if we want a chance of beating anybody else. But I think overall, we adjusted, played well, got a tough win.
Coach, 16 turnovers. How you clean up against 2 competitive teams in the next round?
Yeah, I just think it's them figuring each other out. I've never been big on harping about turnovers because if I'm like, hey, stop turning the ball over, they're just going to turn it over more. So, I just think it was figuring each other out. This is something new. If you see, we're just playing a little differently. And it's like anything else. It's like a quarterback and a receiver. It's figuring out timing. It's figuring out each other. So I expected that, to be honest. Maybe not 16, but I'm never going to tell them stop turning the ball over. I think it's just, all you're trying to do in TBT is get better, from first half to second half. And now I tell everyone, someone asked me about the nerves. Are you nervous that you could play Heard That? Or are you nervous that you could do you need to make the regional final? I tell people all the time, it's the first game. Because you don't know the other team, you don't know your team, and it's just figuring it out. So that's to be expected, man. I know we got a bunch of basketball players, so that number will drop.
Was there any hesitation in terms of playing physical on defense when they got up to 68 and trying to avoid foul trouble? Because there was a couple of possessions back to back. It looked like they were about to draw a foul. They did once. Any difference of strategy there defensively?
No, I mean, we yelled no fouls, no timeouts. You got to be solid, but you also, if they're going to get a layup, you might be better off fouling there because it's only going to be 1 point. So it just depends. They understand the situation. And, there's most of the game was us. I told them before the game, this is on you guys. And in terms of them figuring it out, I have confidence that they'll figure it out.
Eric, Dubois' possession before your three. If Weathers hits that layup, that's the game. I mean, you're kind of right there. Just kind of take us through that moment. I mean, did it look good coming off? And then before you grab the rebound and go to the ground, just kind of take us through that whole.
No, that kid, man, that kid's athletic. He had a good day. I don't know what his numbers were, but he affected the game really well. But when I saw him, I can't remember if I was guarding him. I really don't. But all I remember is him jumping off that one leg, and I think he went into KJ.
Yeah.
And then right when I see him going to KJ, I knew it was gonna be short. Because unless you're way above the defender and dunking it, you're most likely it's gonna be short. It's just the way that the physics works on that. I knew it was gonna be short, and then obviously I got the rebound, and then I landed on my hip after a trip or whatever they call it. But I knew it was short, but I didn't say. I'm not saying I wasn't nervous. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was crazy way to end the game. I'll tell you that.
KJ, last TBT potentially for you and John. How's that feel? You putting any extra pressure on your teammates to make sure you go out and win?
Nah, man, I just want to have fun. The whole process is pretty good. We started last week, started practice. We haven't even practiced with each other a full week. And just getting to know these guys, being one of the older guys on the team, being through this my 4th time, man, I just want to have fun. I mean, the results, obviously, they matter, in winning the money, but just being around these guys, man, that's the best part about it.
Eric,
Go ahead.
obviously you were a later addition due to Summer League, but what does it mean to you as kind of a newer member of this WVU alum to get to play with guys like KJ and from all generations of WVU hoops?
I love West Virginia. I love the gold and blue. And I was thinking about the TBT, I don't know how long ago. I think James and I and Flo were talking about it. And I was just praying the dates were gonna match up. It gave me like 2 days, not even, it gave me like 35 hours at the house from Vegas. And it was just, we got there and, saw the parents for a little bit, saw the family. And was on a plane, Wednesday morning early. And, got here and I'm exhausted though, I'll be honest, like tired wise, leg wise, I'm in different time zones, it seems like every day, but the gold and blue, man, it's nothing like it. It didn't feel like exactly like the Coliseum, but it felt almost close to it for sure, and it got me goosebumps, really. I missed it.
KJ on the final possession, it's a dribble handoff
Right.
kind of thing. So he's coming around you. I mean, what's going through your mind as you're watching him come out of his hand, or ball flying through the air?
So that was the possession, but the possession before that when I went into the post, that was what the play was supposed to be ran the first time, and obviously we didn't get that right, but we got it right the second time. My first thought was don't turn the ball over, because I think I turned the ball over like 2 times before that. So I knew once I got in his hand, I had all the confidence in the world in her, and he knocked down the shot, so it wasn't a surprise to me. Obviously, I was very happy about it, but it wasn't surprising to me that he hit the shot.
KJ, you had an ender, you had a game ender, on the little leaner down the trust, and I think the opposition had a chance to win that game before, but you got that stop. So having been through that situation before, are you thinking about that, saying, hey, when we can get this stop, we can do this again?
Yeah, just keeping the team morale up. When we were down by 3, I think, and they only had to score 1 basket to win the game. Just knowing that we've been in that position before, where the other team only had to score one basket. So just like on the drive, we wanted to wall up and make a tough shot on him. He still got the shot up. I don't know how. I tried to wall up, and thankfully he had left it short. But yeah, in times like that, you just got to remember that you've been in that position before, and just that just to keep the team morale up, we can still win.
James, I'm just kind of curious, what's, with this Elam ending, obviously it's a little different with the game of basketball. From a coaching perspective, what's worse on the coach? Watching your team play defense when the other team has a chance to win, or watching your team play offense when you guys have a chance to win?
It's a really good question.
Elite question. Elite. That's it. It can't be obvious.
I think tonight was worrisome because of we were struggling with something, and I don't know if we had an answer for it. And not even, weather's like more so like the concept of what was happening. Not gonna elaborate too much on that, but I was really worried that they were gonna keep exposing it. Thankfully at the end they came off that Iverson and tried to reject it to the baseline. But I think tonight it was more defense, and years past it's been offense. I think we're getting good organic movement this year, so I'm not really worried about the offense. We've tried to run 2 ATOs that took 3 possessions of this Elam, so like it was more like we had a couple rehearsed possessions, but we also had a couple like flow possessions. So the offense was fine. I was worried about the post entries a little bit, but that was a good question. Defense tonight because of I don't know if we had an answer for what was happening.
Erik, since you came, you mentioned a little bit tired, changing time zones. What kind of challenges have you faced in these last 5 or 6 days trying to get up to speed with everything?
I mean, basketball is basketball at the end of the day. So I mean, you can drop as many sets you want in practice. We could have put in like 200 sets in practice. We're gonna run, 5 in the game. So I mean, it's really, like I said, basketball is basketball. Concepts are concepts. The spacing's a little different, from being in summer league and being in, the professional, training camp and whatnot. Compared to this, is way different. This is more like college, with the college line. I don't know if that makes it easier or harder. It just depends on the guys you play with. But I say the biggest thing is just hydrating, make sure my legs are there. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, basketball is basketball.
Okay, I'm just kind of curious. Heard that Pitt. I mean, if this is the final TBT, either way, it'll be an interesting matchup. I mean, but will you even watch this next game? I mean, are you? Two rivals kind of going at each other before you guys get a chance to go with one?
I'm thinking about it. I might, but yeah, it's gonna be a great game either way. They both have great teams coming into this tournament. We heard that last year, so kind of looking forward to playing Pitt more, just because we haven't played them yet here. But I'm sure it's gonna be a great game. I might watch it. I'm not sure yet.
Hey, can I just say something? KJ, we got to stop this retirement talk.
Yeah.
This man had 22 and 12. He's aging like fine wine. What's good? What's good, right, KJ?
We'll see what's up.
18 and 12 is crazy. Talking about retirement.
James, what do you know about potential second round opponents?
Heard that, very good. They've added a couple pieces that change it. They have a lot. I'd say talent-wise, they're as good as anyone in this region. I wouldn't, it's not even an argument. Rob Gray won a Euro Cup with Monaco. John Elmore is incredible, as we all know. Ja'Cory Williams averaged 18 and 8, first league in Italy. Kelly was a problem last year. You got JB Takoto playing for Tel Aviv, or Hopeball. They have a team, man. And then you have Pitt where, paper doesn't matter in the TBT, especially first game. So Pitt has some younger guys. Gary McGee's established in this thing too. The rivalry there. Either way, I'm looking forward to, for me personally, like as a coach, we make it to Dayton and people would say things like, sure you want to go back? You had a good run last year. Like, what if you guys lose first round? I'll never be that. Always going to run to opportunities, and this is a really cool opportunity to be a part of. So either way, obviously I have some bad feelings towards Pitt growing up here. So would love for that to happen, but either way, it's going to be fun.
All right, that'll do it.